it was real brilliance to have an imbalanced matchup, but then to have people go on and sound like they know what they're talking. Well, one played two, so it worked out. One played two based on what? That being said, I will say this, and you cover college basketball as well. For all I've never found a perfect computer poll. Guess what? I've never found a perfect human poll either. The net ranking, it's better than the RPI was. I like what the quad 1 through quad 4. I get it. Or excuse me. Yeah. Quad 1 through quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. Not everybody finds that appetizing. It's kind of nerdy math type stuff. But I'll tell you what, it spits out better data than what anything in college football does. And I would suggest that college football gets together and finds something comparable that can discern kind of what JC was talking about, the imbalance of conference schedules within their own leagues, obviously the difference in non-conference schedules, and can spit out some data that it gives the committee an out in some respects. Like if it's close, the net doesn't determine everything, but the committee members are lying if they don't say they look at it to help break a tie. And maybe we could find something like that in college football, because right now we don't have it. No Sagarin or Matt Massey or all these other polls were ever worth a damn. Maybe we can make one that actually is.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I've been saying from the start, the committee, I did write that to the BCS, but I was in favor of a committee, because you have to, you just have to have it. You have to have somebody make that hard case at the end. Someone's got to do it. Pretty much, unless you want to go this other route, which I'll talk about. But they keep putting people on the committee. I'm always like, where's the money ball where it's the Jonas Hill, I think it's character, right? Where he's like
Jonah Hill, yeah.
Jonah Hill, right. I'm the econ major from Yale. And all right, we got another coach, but then the coaches, like Kirby Smart's like, these guys don't know anything about football. There was like 5 former coaches on the committee. Right. It's like they get ripped. What? Like they weren't good enough coaches? Like, okay, we got to get better coach. Like who is this person that knows everything? I want a math person on there, a couple of them. One of the things that's interesting, I agree, the net rankings, the Ken Palm, they do better in basketball. Now there's more data, there's more games, that helps, but there's a lot of teams. Right. And what they did with those quads was, I remember one year, one of the problems was, you schedule, okay, we're going to have the game Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We're going to be, we're just bringing somebody in. And that team ends up like 1-27. And they're they're 354th in the ranking. And it crushes you when you could have just played team 211 and got the same result, right? It was like too big of a thing. College hockey. Okay, so this is all under this is still the NCAA, including Ohio State and Boston College and Michigan State, and a lot of teams that also play big college football. College hockey is a thing called pairwise. They have a computer formula that essentially sets their tournament. That's it. Now they have a committee in case that pairwise goes haywire in some manner, and all of a sudden an 8-20 team gets in. But for the most part, the pairwise rankings of the top 16 will be there's automatic bids, and then they shuffle it down. That's your tournament. And they're fine with it. Everyone likes it. And the college hockey fans, you win a game. Okay. So let's say, I don't know who's playing who, but let's say Wisconsin beat Michigan State's like number 2 in the country right now. Boston College, number 1. Let's say somebody beats Boston College this weekend in the Hockey East tournament. Immediately the fans will start they've figured out the formula. And they'll say, we're going to move up 3 spots in the pairwise. And so each night, it actually it's almost like a baseball race, right? We're now only a game and a half back. We're this or that. So in college hockey, which is, again, an NCAA sport. This isn't like I'm taking, people be like, the European soccer leagues, we should have promotion and regular. Okay, that's not happening. But like Ohio State's good with pairwise in hockey. But you mention a computer to college football people, and they think you're like, you want to stuff the ball instead of inflate it. They go, oh my God, we can't have a computer. It's like your other sports have computers. What's the issue here? So it seems like there's some ground where we could improve the selection process. And so this is my thing. If you're upset about the selection process, And again, you can make an absolute case that Alabama should have been in over SMU and maybe Indiana. You could say South Carolina. You could say Ole Miss, all sorts of stuff. I was fine with all those arguments. But let's make that process better before we just throw up our hands and say we can't do it. Let's have 4 automatic bids.